the very thin atmosphere that we made from being like a substantial like thing in the atmosphere. Like, cause so us as like a mass attracted rocks, and that's how we formed. But we also attracted the gas. We didn't only attract rocks; we attracted the gas in the atmosphere. And so like the Earth formed, and after a while, the heat that was in the rocks let out gas, and the gas hung out around our atmosphere, and
let it cool out.
Yeah, and it took a very long time, and then that formed like very like thick gas. Like think of like a very hot, humid, desert. But like think of like
I know how we form. I'm talking about like just the.
Yeah, I haven't got there yet.
I know. I mean,
I haven't got there yet.
Why are we getting aggressive? Can we just talk?
Yeah, I'm just talking, but I haven't got there yet.
So you have like a
galaxy,
like an anger behind it.
No, I'm not angry.
And here's my ship. This is a nice ship. Out of the ship.
Anyway,
I'm saying
okay. You're the one getting.
What?
Anyway, so think of like a volcano exploding.
Yeah.
And then all the like the magma that comes off of that. The whole Earth was like that. Okay.
Yeah.
With the atmosphere around it was giving off all the steam. Eventually it cooled. That turned into water.
Whoa, no. How did this turn into water?
So the Earth was giving off steam. The rocks were so hot. Like the Earth was so hot that it was giving off steam, but the gas around us that we were attracting.
So we're in that perfect spot of it, like the water being able to be a liquid form.
Being from our atmosphere, and it came down as rain.
Yeah.
Okay, but it didn't all come down as rain. Some of it just sort of
with all those elements and molecules just intertwining with each other, making these little tiny molecules.
And so this is how life formed. So a long time ago, when the ocean finally formed, and there was like an ocean, like on the Earth, like most of the Earth was water, like it still is, but we were just like, so there was the way we made energy. It's sort of like curious how like we went from like the Earth making energy and like us feeding off the Earth's energy to us making energy by ourselves. But the way that happened was in the ocean. The way the first like bacteria and like living organisms worked. They were attached to like these pumps. You know how like those.
Yeah, the pump underwater.
Yeah, the pumps. Like
they live around the heat there.
Yeah, so think about like those like pumps that you put into a fireplace. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's like old-timey like air pumps. It was like that, but they went all the way to the surface, and they connected all the way down to like very deep in the ocean.
Yeah. And
we like fed off the energy that made from like the heat there, and then eventually we.
I'm saying like that point of that life.
It's just probability.
I know it's probability. I'm not arguing that. I'm talking about the fact of that even existing. The fact that that's a thing that just sparks in our universe. That's a fucking...
It wasn't just a spark.
It is a spark. It is something that was created and that eventually just...
Like a spark,
and the fact that it even evolves and it grows itself. That it has like some kind of wanting to be more. That it wants to
There was no wanting. It was nature.
Hear me out. Why are you... I'm just talking about... I'm saying there's like a... every organism wants more of itself to go because it continue its species on. Okay. They want to keep going on. Mm-hmm. What is that? There's like a.
And this was before what you're talking about. This is before there was any sort of like multi-celled organism.
I'm talking about the fact of life ain't existing at all. Mm-hmm. The fact that why is that a thing right there?
Yeah, we're just so evolved that it just took billion. I mean, it's by chance. The reason
I know it's by chance. I'm talking about it's random as fuck. But I'm not saying someone created it and sparked it. But I'm saying there's something. All the building blocks are there to make it. Why is that? Why are the building blocks there to make it? There's something there to make life. Life can't exist with this right
ingredients. With us, it was carbon.
Yeah, I'm saying just the fact that exists right there. Life in general is fucking crazy. Like
it's crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane. Mm-hmm.
There's a mystery to it. That's all I'm trying to say. Yes, there is. There's a mystery to it. We really don't get it.
We know how we started.
Not exactly. We don't really completely understand it. We have
I
ideas.
mean, it hasn't been disproven. Like, the theories are there, but it hasn't been, like, disproven.
I'm not saying that it's proven. I'm just saying we don't have we're not positive. We're not absolutely sure how life just came to be. Like the first.
It didn't just come to be. I get what you're saying, but it didn't just.
I'm not saying someone just said spark it. I'm saying
you literally used the word spark.
I'm saying spark as the way as it just continues to evolve. I'm talking about.
It took
I'm not
billions
saying
years.
someone said it's
It
there.
took
Boom,
billions
there.
of years to get from the little.
I'm not arguing evolution. I know the fact how it got there. I'm saying it's just amazing how it exists in the first place, how it came to be.
Yeah, but then we all die. It's not that amazing.
You're not. I don't like argue with you. You just.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking insanely fascinating. We have no idea.
I'm over it.
I hate you. I think it's a fucking miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
The fact we're even talking to each other right now is a miracle.
I think it's crazy that like other sides of the world,
you can feel shit.
like we like talk like this, and then the other side of the world they go, "Wang Chan La Moi, c'est La Moi."
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just the
They just
sounds out of my voice
Mhm.
that you just recognize.
Yeah.
You just know what I'm saying.
And they like take
you,
off
just,
the.
you understand the tones. You understand every little just sound. It's insane.
Japanese is a weird language.
And how just smart our species is. How we tinker with shit with our hands and we just make shit and we just put ideas together. Everything started with a thought. Like everything was like you had to think of it. Isn't that crazy? How we're like almost like I almost say godlike. We can create shit in our head and make it into reality.
You're just a person, Brady.
I feel like we're amazing. Just look at this Xbox right here.
What do you think, Sheldon?
I think
You gotta
We're
embrace the
something-
wonder. I don't think you know how to do that, Casey.
I do. That's why I'm joining the Peace Corps.
yeah, that's why I'm joining the Marine Corps.
Well, look at this. Someone made this. What is this? I can't make
Yeah, I'm not
this.
too fascinated by it.
I can't make a damn
It's
chair.
just an addiction. If people are addicted to like our phones and like this, and we don't even like comprehend what's around us,
I
like
think
in
it's
the physical world. Yeah, it is awesome.
You can like this and like the physical world too.
I'm not that into it.
Into what?
Like the phones and the games.
What are you into, Casey? What makes you happy?
I like music.
Okay. Is it music cool? Can we talk? Can music be cool for a second?
I
I just
like
like talking about cool stuff. I don't want to bum everything out.
I'm not bummed. Are you bummed?
No.
I'm not bummed either.
Music is cool though. You can just make sounds and.
It's like even with us talking.
Yeah,
like,
people are addicted to that though, and they don't really think about the physical world. They just think about the musical world.
But people like hit drums is physical. It's like a physical activity.
Isn't it crazy we made it like beat is a thing? Like how did that?
I think it's cool how there's like the airwaves around us. Like even with us talking, we like just with us talking, just the air around us. It's us like making the air around us move in such a way that we hear it.
Yeah.
That we just sense that the air around us from us like talking or like hitting things, and we like pick that up.
Hey, do you think everybody hears differently?
That's like
And-
the color theory.
And like
Does everybody see the same color?
Yeah, does everybody
I
actually
don't
see
like-
the same color? Or
I don't like that color thing. I feel like everyone has a certain level of hearing. Maybe they can hear a little better.
But here, am I hearing the
I mean,
same
yeah,
thing that Shelton's hearing?
Yeah, are we hearing the same voice coming out of your mouth?
Yeah.
As
Are you wearing a gray hat? To me, you're wearing a gray hat, and everybody here
everybody
knows
else
it.
the color
anyway.
thing.
a gray hat.
Everybody
but, I mean,
here knows it. That color is gray, but
No, there's
do we
sight
all
hearing.
But
say
that color gray could be black to another person.
Yeah.
Or
No,
so they know it
fucking
is gray.
gray.
See, that's
They
kinda,
know it is
I
gray.
don't think that's true. I think we all know that's gray because you know it's gray.
No,
You
yeah.
might
like,
see it a little
no, it's
better. You
because-
might see it like
it is
more
because,
colorful.
like,
You might see
color-
it a little lighter or
Because
darker.
like think in the very beginning
Like
when
darker.
somebody
It is. the
so like somebody
more
saw
light
a
it
different
absorbs
color,
and stuff.
but because the person who taught them that was gray was their gray, it was like
But it's still gray. There's people around you saying that's gray.
but they might not see it. It might not be the same. Like to them, that could be
Well, eventually
red.
they'll pick up
what
on it.
your
Like,
red is their gray.
eventually they'll pick up and be like, oh, that's black and that's gray. Someone will be like, what are you doing?
No, this is a different. I get what you're saying, but they're at the same time. So like, think if you were like a little kid, and you're walking around, and you see a tree, and you see a tree that has green leaves, and you know what green looks like.
Yes.
Okay.
We all will agree. We'll look at a something. I'll lay out a color, and everyone's like, "That's green." We all agree that's green.
But not everybody. Does everybody see the same green? Does everybody know green see the same green that you do? They know that it's green. They know the name of it identifies as green. Yes. But do they see the same green that you see?
So you're saying they see blue instead?
Yeah, but they know that blue is green.
I just feel like.
Tell us how you feel.
You would know that it's because we look over time. Yeah, you would just know that's green by certain situations happening. Like, oh, it's the green one over there. It's the blue one over there. You would just know.
But at the same time, if you just learn that a certain color is green,
you'd be found wrong quickly. That's what I'm saying. You'd be like, oh,
no, because all the greens are like somebody else's blue, but they know that is green. It's the color theory. It's crazy. I can't describe it too well. You gotta watch.
I get what you're saying. I just feel like you would just.
But like all the other, like everybody identifies the same color. Like everybody can say this is gray and that's gray and your hat's gray. But like they're different.
We can disprove that because of like the color spectrum. Like we know that black is a darker color because it absorbs.
But not everybody. Yeah, you're right.
So I mean,
not everybody knows.
Even if you do see like a blue color, I mean, you would know what a darker color would be.
You're right.
So.
Yeah, you just know. It's just like there's light and dark. It's just that's how everything.
How they collide.
Yeah, so that would.
But like somebody else's, the way they see it.
I don't think that's ever been a situation though. There's never been someone they just found like that. I feel like it's just you're over.
Brady, stop feeling things.
Feeling things.
Just say you always feel. Just say you think.
Don't tell me how to feel and don't tell me how to think, Mr. Bonnaroo.
I feel uncomfortable.
I love making people uncomfortable.
Jesus.
Carmex.
You just get angry.
Ow!
I haven't been angry this whole time.
Ow! You get no.
Hey, ow!
Casey's right. I don't want to hear your argument. Ow!
But I'm not angry.
Hush.
Ooh. I'm not angry.
Ow.
Ooh. You get angry.
Flick it.
You get angry because that's the way I act.
No.
I'm not angry.
I'm angry. No.
Why is that there?
You're not angry. You're more. You cut people off and just.
Why is that like that?
I do the same thing.
Not at all. I'll let you talk.
All right.
You don't cut people off.
Shelton knows. I cut people off. Brady, you cut people off.
Yeah, y'all both cut each other off multiple times during that.
And Shelton's just sitting here like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen.
And I've got Carmex.
I don't even know what we're arguing about. I was just. I think. Oh, you were just saying life sucks and it's boring, and I was like, no, it's pretty cool.
Life is cool, but like, and it's a miracle that we're here. But I'm not as amazed as it as you are. I appreciate the way we are in the present, like how like our species is now. Now.
Oh, here we go. I don't think we have everything figured out. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely not. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I like things are. There's a lot of shit we don't get. I feel like our monkey brains are trying to figure. We figured out a lot. We're smart for humans, but I'd say overall everything. We don't have a fucking idea. Like it's so fucking vast and just.
I think it's more of a mystery. Like people are more perplexed about like what happens after. People are like sort of have their own like things about what happened before. Like people just have their own acceptance and they like sort of just understand in their own way what happened before and how we got here and how we formed. But like the thing that like perplexes most people is what happens after.
See that's when I don't really like look at it like this way. It's kind of dark, but I really feel like just you're a conscious being. You're born into the world. Your experiences happen to you. That develops your personality. Who's your relationship? That's your conscious. It develops. Mm-hmm. It's all your environment. You can't say that's a soul.
Nikola Tesla thought the same thing.
That's just something that you've just created. That's just something that just happened. And then when you die,
nothing happens.
It's just dark. You just die. Mm-hmm. You just rot in the ground. And it's the
like,
same thing when you were.
It's the same thing
before you were
born.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dark. It's all you don't remember anything when you were born. Before you're born. It's just you're here on this. You're here on this.
And that's why you appreciate everything around you more.
That's what I'm saying.
And
I feel like right now is heaven. Everyone's thinking when you die is heaven. Right now is heaven. We're living. Dude, when you really look at it, just look at it for a second.
Heaven doesn't exist.
What the fuck's going on? Like, what the fuck's going on? We're living in this, like, this overstimulated world of us just having we're
Yeah.
thinking, feeling. We can touch, we can smell, we can
hate
taste
feeling.
shit. It's crazy when you think about it. It's insane, and the fact that you even exist at all. The fact life exists.
You're right, but
It should just be some rocks and fucking heat
I'm
hitting each
over
other.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Why does life exist in the first place?
I don't even.
That's what I'm talking about. When we're
I
talking,
get what you're saying.
You just say I'm over it. And
I am over it.
You just get all.
I'm more like concerned about like how we are now, and how to appreciate every single day more. That's why I get mad when I waste my time. I get what you're saying. How like this is sort of like heaven, and that's why and like oh you're saying that I sort of like say the same thing, but I don't call it heaven. You know, I just say it's like I try to take every day, and I just sort of appreciate. It makes me appreciate everything around me more because
The
it's
fact
as
you
good as it
experience
gets.
anything at all, even if it's sadness or even the worst feeling, the fact you experience that right there, that's a miracle right there. That's I feel like that's something you feel
It's a
grateful
miracle.
for. Just to even be alive is something that's like completely insane.
Yeah, but I don't even think about it like that. I think about it as it's just another experience.
Right?
Think about how intricate like our minds
That's what I'm
are.
saying,
Like, we
dude.
can't even fathom how intricate our minds are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like our brains
Like,
have this little
scientists
pulp.
still don't
It's
even
just
know.
like
It's just like
it's like an inside of an orange.
yeah, it's just like this fucking this like mushy little thing up here that gives us like all this
You know, our
vast
brain
knowledge and like
Has enough
Isn't it
memory.
crazy? You just make your arm move. You just don't really think about it. You just
Our
move
the
your
brain
arm.
does it all.
Our
The
brain has
brain
enough
move it.
memory to hold a Google server,
Oh yeah.
1 terabyte. Our brain holds approximately 1 terabyte
That's
of
it?
memory. Yeah.
Damn, because my Xbox holds more than that.
Our brains are just on fire.
It sucks.
And honestly, how are we so smart from the other animals? What is that all about?
Evolution.
I know, but at the same time, like, it's really interesting when you think about the other primates and stuff. Like, how, like, we're weird. We're really weird. How did it go down? That's all I want to know. How did it all happen?
You should be an anthropology major.
I really do.
How are there monkeys and people?
I'm not arguing that.
How are there?
Those are just different branches.
Isn't that chick said that on the beach? She was just like,
If
how
they're
are there monkeys? If they're human,
If we evolved from monkeys, why are there monkeys
still
here?
monkeys?
I hate that argument, dude. That completely shows me your lack of like, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Wait, so how can I like? Okay, people ask me that sometimes, and I don't really know. Like,
Okay, so the same way that there are like chimpanzees,
There's common
apes,
ancestors.
bamboos. We all have like a common ancestor.
We're really
which
close
is
to the
ape.
bonobo apes and chimpanzees.
Yeah, chimpanzees. Yeah, we're really close. And so like, have you ever been to DC? Have you ever been to DC?
No,
You guys got to go to the Museum of Natural History.
do they have the fucking the first human, the fucking old ape?
The oldest skull they've ever found is there.
Really?
Yeah,
How old?
I don't know, but like they have like the way that before I went there, I didn't understand evolution fully until I went to the Museum of Natural History. Like the way their exhibits are and the way they have it set up and the way they explain it is just so much better than I can. But like it.
I read a book by Richard Dawkins called The Ancestor's Tale, and he goes in depth of how we evolved.
Mm-hmm.
There was one theory they were talking about how it was all a sexual thing. We were all on all fours walking around.
Mm-hmm.
He thought that this one girl thought if the reason we started standing up was a way to the males were like it was more of like a more of like a dominant thing to show off their genitalia. Like, ooh, look at them. They'd walk up real quick, look, and they get back on all their fours, to show off themselves. They just like, get up real quick. And girls, the fact they're on all fours, you can see their pussy. It's more easier to get behind them. That's the most natural way that's the most animalistic way to fuck them. So they, over time, stood up too. So they, it was just like it was almost like a style, a self-defense thing too in a way, but almost like a style of like standing up for the primates. They thought it was like a cool thing to do in a way. They're like, oh, that monkey can stand up and walk on all two. Like it was like more of like a, and then you have the.
You think monkeys are conscious?
Yeah. I think dolphins are conscious. I think their prefrontal cortex is way larger than ours. I think they just don't have fingers. They can't make shit. So they're stuck with their fins and in the water, and they're just like.
What if we gave them prosthetic hands? What if we created dolphin prosthetic hands, like actual hands?
Maybe.
They can breathe human.
I feel like they're really smart.
they are.
Well,
I feel like they're super. You look at them like an eye.
Like that's the only other like fucking. They have a fucking language of their own. Like they can communicate with like echo sounds.
Yeah, they have like a way crazier way. They have communication. Yeah. But yeah, the whole thing with the monkey though evolving, we came from a common ancestor. There was
Just
Neanderthal.
like how we have white people, black people, just like
Yeah. So
No.
yeah,
common-
it's
common
exactly the same
ancestry.
thing. So
On the
there was like a forest. We all came from like Africa,
East Africa.
East Africa, and there was like a big jungle, very rainforesty there.
A lot of primates, tons
primates
of different
everywhere,
ones.
and some of them like moved away
Little
from the
shrews,
forest.
little tiny
And
ones, big ones.
some of them left the forest. Some of them went away, and
Yeah.
over time, like because like the ones that stayed in the forest are the monkeys we know today, and the ones that left, and some
Not
of the ones that
necessarily. Those evolved into different things.
yeah, I mean,
Some
but
went extinct.
yeah. So like the ones that left, some of them like stayed in Africa, and those were black people. Okay, but some,
No, don't, Casey. No, listen. That seems not right. Humans evolved. We were like a.
but they evolved. That's why we have completely different languages.
and different knickers.
No,
than
there
white
was
people.
we evolved. Look,
We evolved and
wasn't
then we
like-
separated.
no, there was the human race,
Okay, no.
and the humans came
No.
out of Africa, and then I think they were literally. I don't want to say they were fully black, but they were definitely like a dark color. And over time, they went to different geographical locations and
Okay.
evolved. It wasn't like we split into different species. We're humans. We're all related.
You're right.
We have
Okay,
the same
so
genome.
you're right. So we all left the forest. Okay, we all got out of the forest.
The forest.
We did.
Yeah.
The jungle, what do you want me to call it? Okay. We got out of the forest. And then after we became Neanderthals, we wasn't all like
Well, actually, I was reading this book. It shows Neanderthals went to Europe. Neanderthals colonized that area. We actually existed with Neanderthals. Homo erectus is almost like a Neanderthals. They're more in the Asian kind of region. And that's another thing you could propose. Because like you could say humans probably
That's what I was trying to
fuck
say.
these Homo erectuses, and some humans fuck these Neanderthals. Some people still have genes from
That's
Neanderthals.
what I was trying to say. Before. And then you were interrupting me. Like you said you don't interrupt people. Remember
What
that?
do you- I didn't know what you were going to say.
Remember when you said that? And then,
What are you talking about?
anyways, so we got out of the jungle, and then
I'm just helping you. I'm not trying to
What am I saying
combat
now?
you.
we got out of the jungle, okay, and then some like the ones that stayed in like around the equator in Africa, because this was back like when the Earth wasn't as it is today, okay. It was kind of close, but it wasn't like it was today.
Ice
Like-
Age was definitely.
Ice Age was a big thing. Like this all happened like the pinnacle point to where we went into like humans
Humans was 200,000 years ago. That's
was
when
during the
human was-
Ice Age. It was during like Russia and like this is how we got to North. This is how Native Americans got to North America. Was Russia and Alaska was connected because of the Ice Age, and like some of them like trekked across and got to North America.
Bering Strait.
And then some of them stayed over there, and some of them like stayed in the Africa region. And the reason that black people were so black because
Like
they were in the
20,000
sun.
years ago.
They were in the sun for so long,
Fried there.
and they're fried, and they adapted to it, and that's why black people can run faster and jump higher because they were used to like this being out in the open, running from just like tigers.
Yeah,
That
tigers.
too, but I think honestly the slave trade definitely.
That was
Yeah,
only
that's-
like
I
That's
think
why
I
that
think
was
they picked a lot of the more stronger, and they survived during the slave trade because that was definitely a big.
that was a sooner thing.
Yeah.
You're right with the slave trade, but
Yeah.
that was a much sooner thing. But with the actual like us evolving into like different sort of just like races,
Yeah.
was them just being in the wild, like running from things.
When you think of whites though, there wasn't a lot of sun. It was mostly overcast over there.
yeah,
So
they were in the north,
and
like
it was
in the
easier
ice.
to hide in the snow and shit.
Yeah.
If they were white.
They didn't have to deal with the sun.
And then
so
when you
much.
look at Asians, they're a lot more smaller, and there was especially over there in the Himalaya area, they're a lot more compact and more stockier. It was a way to hold heat in, and their and the eyes. The reason their eyes are like that is because it was a way for like snow to kind of fall out. Like they want to get blinded by the snow. It was easier to walk through the
the
snow.
like during that time, like the Native Americans and the South Americans and like the Mexican like area, this was like the best humans of the time. Like the Incans and stuff, that was like the most.
South America was the best humans.
Like the Incans and the Mayans, they had the best they had the best of all the worlds. They were built. They
Oh, you mean physically?
physically and mentally, like they had like the best of
They're
like
so
the
fucking
African,
crazy.
the Asian, and the European like sort of.
They had definitely their astronomy down in the mathematics, but I would
they
say.
had the fucking
But they did cut off their fucking heads when They did sacrifice a lot, and they were fucking crazy.
Well, everybody like sacrificed a lot.
I guess you got to go through that. Being human. It's crazy to me.
I mean, they used to think that there was a god for everything.
This is one thing I can't get my right hand. Why didn't Africa develop like a really stable civilization? You know. Why didn't Africa develop anything?
Because they didn't have the resources.
And then it was all the fucking animals, all the diseases and shit. It was just really hard to get something together. And then it's the desert and the big ass fucking rainforest right there.
The resources.
It's just too
but
much.
see, the way that it is now, there's like a couple like rich like I wouldn't say rich. There's South Africa, which is not. You can just sort of just imagine that South Africa isn't even a part of Africa. There's South Africa, and it's like a developed economy. It's probably the strongest.
England came in there.
Yeah, it's the strongest country in Africa.
Because it's white people.
But like in northern Africa, that's like mid-northern Africa is where like all the diamonds are and stuff. And there are so I don't know why diamonds are so expensive. Diamonds are so expensive because of money. It's not like we have a shortage of diamonds or anything that makes them cost $2,000 or anything. They have literally warehouses and warehouses and warehouses full of diamonds, and they're all like all the diamonds in the world are owned by the same company. And the company.
They promote the marriage idea too.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta get married. Gotta buy. You know.
That's why it costs so much. Yeah.
Marriage was a thing in the 20s. You know, to buy a diamond. The whole marriage thing was to get a ring.
Because that's when
that
the diamonds
in the
came out. That's when they discovered all the diamonds, like the
They started doing that in the 20s with the ring. They didn't start in the 20s. That was like not even that long
years ago. Yeah.
And have you heard of pygmy people?
Yeah.
They're these little.
Hi guys.
They're like a weird like sub-race of humans. They're really little. They're like 4 feet, 5 feet, little like they look like us, but they're just miniature. And they live like in the Congo, and they're being enslaved by rebels to dig up like minerals up in there.
And the government like denies they exist.
Because the thing is, a lot of those minerals are used to make like our iPhones and shit, batteries and stuff, and like
lithium.
Yeah, lithium is like a huge thing, and like they're enslaving. Like,
I read about this. Yeah.
Isn't it insane? And they found trillions of dollars of lithium in the mountains of Afghanistan. And who's to say that we're not going in? There's not rich assholes trying to get up in there and
that's why
shit up.
That's why like 2000. That's why the Iraq War started.
I really do. I really think it's all resources, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's all resources.
And like Iraq and Afghanistan had nothing to do with the Trade Center thing, but.